Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Bianca Asia Saeed, your motherhood empowerment coach. And if you don't know me, I am, yes, a George Mason graduate. I am wearing this because I think the colors look good on my skin. And I enjoyed my time at this school studying sociology, so cool. It's got a little cute, not that anyone cares. Anyways, so I kind of feel like I don't play video games, but when my husband did the Assassin's Creed, I'm feeling like I'm kind of cool like that when I wear this hood, so maybe you'll see that too. Anyway, I am talking about another thing that I am done with doing in 2021, and that is assuming people's intentions for things, and kind of prejudging people's reactions, thoughts, and feelings before I give them a chance to clarify them on their own. Let me give you a little bit of background here. So this has a lot to do with my personality, and I highly encourage, I'll put some links below, that you at least take a few personality tests and an energy preference test to see how it is that you in particular function, how it is that God made you, so that you're better able to handle problems and situations. Because a lot of times self-help people, personal development people, coaches will give advice that is one shoe fits all, works for everybody. That's not necessarily true. Yes, there are, be consistent, be brave, those kinds of things that are as old as time, and they're classic. But there are other smaller things that will affect your day-to-day life that are dependent upon your personality, your temperament, your learning style, the way that your brain manages energy, none of which you have under your direct control. The only thing you do have control over is how you deal with those aspects of yourself. And taking personality tests can give you a really in-depth and insightful look into how you work, so that you can work better with yourself for better results. Anyways, so this has a lot to do with my personality, this bad tendency I have, I'll call it. So I previously had this tendency, and I still fight with it. This thing won't go straight. Oh well. This tendency to sort of find patterns in people's behaviors and then tell stories about them in my head. Not like I'm going to other people telling stories, but it would be something that, hinders my interaction with people. Because what I would do is that I would read into people's facial expressions and body language and pull into the past from what I know about them in the past, and sort of come up with a story about how they were out to get me, or how they're judging me, or how they don't like me. This is just something that I've always had a problem with, even since I was young, because I'm an empath, and I'm an INFJ on the Myers-Briggs personality test, and I absorb other people's feelings. I have to work very hard to sort of put up, not a wall, but just like a fence kind of between my own feelings and other people's feelings, because I'm the kind of person that, if I'm watching a movie and somebody suffers anything, I'm crying with them. And if somebody's angry, somebody did something to somebody's kid or something, I'm angry with them. Or even if somebody that's in a completely different walk of life than me has some kind of tragic situation happen, or even joyful situation, I can feel those feelings as if I had that experience. And it's a gift and a curse. And I want to get better at putting up a little fence between myself and other people, because of the ways that it affects me negatively. And so, whenever somebody would, make a face, or I would hear bits and pieces of conversation, I would see body language, and I would read into it. And I would assume that, why they were doing it, right? And that goes back to assuming the intention of people. And this would even be simple things like my husband, like, we'd be having a hard conversation and he'd make a face and I'd be like, okay, it's obvious that you don't care about any of this. Or just totally like, you think I'm overreacting, or you think I would ascribe feelings and thoughts to him without his permission, or without his validating that was true. And, in a lot of cases, I may be right, but it doesn't matter. People are not always willing to face and accept the thoughts and feelings that they have that are kind of under the surface. A lot of times they don't even know that that's what they're feeling, because not everybody is hyper aware of their facial expressions and the way they're moving their body and the kind of reading the room. I have to remember that not everybody has that hyper awareness that I have. And so a lot of times people make faces or body language or say things and it's like off the cuff, and they don't even, it's just like spontaneous behavior, or they only figure out later on why it was that they kind of reacted that way. And so it's not fair for me to call them out every single time. It's not fair for me to call people out and, sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. And all it does is it takes energy away from me. It makes me think that I live in a world in which I control how other people think and feel. Like, it doesn't leave any space for anyone else to have experiences that are not attached to what I make them mean, right? So it's dangerous. And even today you'll see this in all the political things happening, or whatever, anything going on in the world. You will see a situation taken and spun 12 different ways depending on who you ask the person. And a lot of times, it's a situation where it's not analyzed properly, and people are sort of like saying, oh, this person did that because they're this, or this person is doing this, so it means this. And it's like, well, you can't, unless that person did some kind of interview, or you found something to reveal what it was that they meant by each action and each behavior, then you don't know for sure. And it's not fair. It's actually being judgmental. That's really what it is. Assuming somebody's intention is being judgmental. And it's kind of putting yourself in the judge's seat, self-righteous you know everything that's going on. You don't need anybody's help to clarify it. And you're just assuming people's intentions. And it's dangerous, because our intentions are what matters most in this world. We get up every day and try to live intentionally. We try to be intentional parents. We have good intentions in situations. That's what matters. That's what God sees, and that's what God judges us by, is what's in our hearts, the intentions. So I think it's very important that in 2021, I stop assuming people's intentions and stop patronizing them, or, just minimizing their experience. And I actually let them be in charge of their intentions, behaviors, whatever. I put my little fence up, and I actually allow them to, interpret their own experience. For example, with my husband, if we're doing the kind of dance we always do, which is like, I'm explaining something to him and he's not making eye contact. He's kind of like doing other things, whatever. I'm not like, okay, so you don't think any of this is important because you're just doing other things. No, instead, I could be like, hey, I'm talking to you and I noticed that you're like doing other things, and I wonder why. Why are you doing other things when I'm talking to you? I would actually appreciate it if you paid attention, because then I would feel like you heard everything I said, and actually give them a chance. And I know sometimes it can be exhausting, especially with our kids and our spouses, because we feel like we do this all the time with them. But it's so important, and it's really important in building patience and understanding. So I'm done in 2021 assuming people's intentions, being judgmental and critical, and I'm neutral now. I'm going to be neutral. That's what I'm not going to read into things. I'm going to allow people to tell me their intentions or prove their intentions, or I'm just going to see it as neutral and wait and see. You know, it's none of my business. It's really none of my business. So it'll free me, it'll free them, and I will have more time and energy for things that matter most to me. So I will put those links below. And if you don't hear from me soon, then I will see you next week. Bye.